Hello, everybody. Oh, I've missed this filter. Feels like I've just got dressed up and going to a party, which is not the case at all. Clicks and clans. Teeth are probably covered in food because I just ate something. Clicks and clans, baby. I'm here to talk about clicks and clans. Clicks and clans, while everyone out there in the supermarket is going crazy. Clicks and clans. What do clicks and clans go into is look at my wee feather here. It smells good because it's got some incense in there. Clicks and clans. So in Ireland we call clans maclan, like groups of people that live in a community together. Cliques. What are cliques? Cliques are a group of people that click together, and then they're like, this is our clique, and they don't include people, or they include who they want to include, or they ostracize people, outcast people. A clique is a clique. Like I think everyone understands what that is. And I was actually talking on a group that I, regularly conversate, international group of people, and I was saying, like, I'm actually kind of tend to always have like one really good friend. Like they're not like just one good friend, but like singular friends that may or may not know each other, and those friends are they may be from the same country, not same county, like, so they could be from anywhere. And this is often why, because in my life I've done a lot of traveling and a lot of connecting through different spheres of things. And so I've had friends from different places or that are into different things. And I don't have a clique and a clan. Ooh, look at this light. And the reason for not... The solstice light has been so beautiful. The weather in Cork has been amazing, and Ireland has been amazing the last few days for solstice. It's been really special. Saw the full-on sun in Newgrange for solstice. Amazing. Not here to talk about that specific, but I want to talk about how we're moving into the 2025, and for certain I feel a very strong piece for me, and what I bring forward is I don't do cliques and clans. What I do is people that I really vibrate with, and people that I feel I can trust, and people that I feel honor me and I honor them, people that I feel appreciate me, that see me for who I am, and vice versa. And people that get triggered by me can also be in that category, as long as they take their own consciousness of, if they get triggered by me, then that's their responsibility. But if there's people that do not like me, I'm using myself as an example, and this could be for you, if they do not like you, if they don't want to include you, or whatever it is, there's loads of good reasons to look at this. They can be negative reasons and positive reasons. And over my time in my life, there's no coincidence I'm called She-Wolf. I have no clue how that ever turned up for me, but like it just makes a lot of sense, because I've always been very much a leader and a follower, so I can definitely do both, and have done both in many of my roles. But and I love doing both, so I feel very attuned to be in a team or a community. But what I'm not interested in is being part of a team or community that isn't really orientated around community and team. So that is, and community and team means everyone listens to the collective. There is maybe a leader or an organizer, but it's co-creation, and that is very difficult in our times, because we have and the word abuse pops up very quickly, abuse and trauma. So I've been part of so many teams, communities, classes, I don't even know, groups, whatever, over the years. Like, I can't even count. I'm going to say over 50, but there's been way more, even if I go back to when I was a child. So, and when I was a teenager and all the different groups, and like what I did find is if I look back, I often had singular friend groups and I spent time with them and then I spent time with different groups. And over time, I would tend to, weave in and out of leaving those groups. Now, some people are very into, they grow up with a group when they're like kids, teenagers, and they stay with that group all their life. That is not me. I don't think I have any friends from when I was a child, still my friends. When I was a teenager, there is people that were my friends, but I wouldn't hang out or engage with them. Like, of course, if I met them, I'd say hello, but we're just worlds apart in our lives. And then as I went through my 20s, the same thing. So it was always for me an evolution of letting go of these people and moving into a community where I felt was more aligned and alignment. And so like I'm talking about community and friendships now, and maybe work can kind of fall into it as well. For me, it definitely falls into it because my work, I can't work with someone if they're not fully aligned or the vibration isn't there. It's just not going to happen. So community is really kind of your whole lifestyle. Like it's like a glowing kind of vibration. And if maybe your practices and your values are here, but then when you're in the community, the practices and values are different than yours. I think there's a layer of not correspondence, but like not everyone has to have the exact same values and ethics as you, but you respect each other's ethics and values and you get it. This can come across from everything, from your sexual life, from your food life, from your family life, from your pets looking after, from your cleanliness. It can be everything. So like we can say that we can judge all these things, or we can say I just love that person from their ethics. So like, for example, we're really into eco products. For example, me and Lucas, eco products, eco living, we really try to make that effort. There is so many people in the spiritual space that actually don't make an effort, don't want to make an effort, or even within your family or your friend group or whatever it is, that have no interest in it. It's not a priority, and there's multiple reasons why it's not a priority. It's a strong one for us. We make a big effort to go out of our way. I'm using this as one value, but for other people, it's like they could judge us in that we do this like it's a waste of time, it's a waste of money, like whatever they're thinking. And in respect, we have the view of like, well, this is our value. We want to make this effort. We want to spend this extra money because this is something that's true to our hearts that we want to do. So say, for example, I'm sure we have loads of friends that have not that same value, but we still love them. We still are their good friend because there's other values in place, like trust, support, openness, like really strong values. And then like they're the values that actually really matter. Not that the products don't matter, but it's not like a top priority, right? Like, so there's no point in having a friend that maybe is really into products and ecological stuff, but they are a really fucking horrible person. Like, there's no point in being with someone like that. Like, you may as well be shooting yourself in the foot hanging out with someone like that. So that's like a perfect example of the flip of values, right? And so we're talking about cliques and clans. And so for me, specifically to talk about my very personalized story, I know there's a lot of people out there that feel like maybe they're not part of a clan or a clique. And I'm going to tell you, I'm not part of a clan or a clique because I am my own clan or my clique. And the people I spend time with are the people that vibe with me and I vibe with them. It's just that simple. And therefore that becomes a clan, but not a clique. Because for me, clique means it's kind of locked in, and like how I feel, like how I hold like a friend space, we're talking about friends now in specific, or community, because community is a bit different than friends, because you can live in a community and not be friends with everyone. That is something different, but you accept that they're part of the community. So to go back, say for friends, my number one priority is that people can be free in their voice, and they can be free in their thoughts, and feel safe enough to say things and not feel judged. And one of these communities that I have online that I would speak with regularly, we have that really rich sense of community that I have one of these Chinese pads on my back, and it's just heating up, takes a while, and it's like, oh, it's so nice. And like, I really value it because we come from all these different backgrounds, and like, I can say blah, 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 and they might have the absolute opposite view or belief, and they just bow down, like they just not bow down, they bow to it and say like, you know, that's your belief, this is mine. But there's no argument, or sometimes there can be some like, well, this is the reason why I believe in this. So there is maybe a confrontation, but there's no like you're wrong, because you're not wrong, because your belief is this. So you can say, I believe that's not right for me, or take it as like my own bubble. So that's like what really good community is, that we can able to like come to each other and say, hey, this isn't working for me because of whatever. So it's basically communication. Like, my values are communication. So I want my friends to be able to communicate with each other. They don't have to be best friends, but they need to be able to sit and communicate with each other and have respect and love for their understanding. So that's quite all these cars behind me, that's quite a big value for me. And that kind of goes for the community as well, because I feel like that people really learn from those spaces. And I feel like over the years, you know, especially through the time that we've had, that people start to separate a lot over the years. And now we are in a really, really big time that people feel more isolated, actually, and they feel more maybe even, especially in the space of the spiritual community, you know, maybe not so much in a clique or a clan. And like, what we have to all do is make those bigger efforts. And like, I find it really hard, because I really love to be really open, but I don't love talking about my really personal stuff or another person in my community or my friend group here. I just don't do that, and I don't do it with other people, etc. as well. But like, I'd love to share that as a story to make it understand, but it's just not possible. So like, but one thing I would say is like, you know, the check-in. Like, are we actually checking in? Are we actually considering the person? Are we actually, you know, how are we just, you know, in our own personal bubble? Like, how much do we really want that community? How much are we trying to reach out? And that takes time and effort. And it kind of comes back to the eco products thing. It maybe is not a top priority. Probably community isn't of interest to you if you're not making an effort to reach out to people that you'd like to spend time with and you'd like to nurture their conversation or relationship. Likely you're not really interested. It works both ways. We both have to work at a relationship. So I find that really rich at the moment, because I have a lot of relationships that I really value. We may not spend time together, and we may not see each other a lot, but they are relationships. They are something that's growing, and many of you know that may listen to this, or you know, and just not even on social media, but like, I find that it's a time in the spiritual new world that we're moving into is to find super solid relationships, because we're in 2025 is going to be a tough year. It may feel like an amazing year, but for a collective, it's going to be a tough year, because we're at the precipice, is that the word? The precipice of a big downturn in the world. And of course, many people might be okay in that, but it will be a challenging time for the collective of the world. So in 2025, we will be tested even more than we've been tested before. And everything has always been a preparation. And I always feel that, like, I always feel like I go through the fucking shite of the shite, And then when everyone is like falling apart, somehow I'm fine. It's always seems to be somehow this way, and it's like I can be some kind of a pillar or holding for people, which is nice. So we're just warming up to the big changes, and there's other people like me that become pillars as well. So, and it's because we've learned how to handle the dark days on our own, you know. So then when the darker ones come, we're like, yeah, right, we're ready. We've been through this. We've been resilient and self-caring enough that we know how to get this. You know, resilient isn't something to be celebrated, you know. And when we're in community, it just seems easier. Everything's easier. It's like collecting the wood for the fire. If we need X amount of wood for X amount of people, if everyone gets a bit of wood, it's a very little job. If one person has to get all the wood for a group of 10 people, it's a lot of wood to carry. So you know, you just have to pick up the slack. Oh, my heat pad is so nice, so cozy. So I'm gonna leave this because there's a lot of words. So I'm gonna, you know, there's cliques and clans all over the world. Specifically in Ireland, there's a lot of cliques and clans. I've heard a lot of people talking about the cliques and clans more and more, how they don't like them, and of course they don't like them because they're a clique and a clan, and you know, everyone can see that from the outside. If you're not in a clique or a clan, you can see that. But what's happening is there's more communities growing that are just getting stronger and stronger, and they're not cliques and clans. You know, they're a clan of community, and it's an open space, and it's not that a clique is a bad thing, but what happens if a clique is very I think the best word is to say pedestaled, then therefore it becomes a problem, because we're in a spiritual world where we're not meant to be pedestaled, and we are meant to be in community. And like, if you've been reading some of my posts, like I said recently, you know, I was born into a rich family, don't hate me for it. And if you were born into a poor family, don't hate yourself for that. Or, you know, we can't hate, you can only be what you fucking can be, you know. So what we do is we just be what we are, you know, we just be what we are. And then what happens is we can just be authentic and real, and like be really fucking real. And the more real we can be, the more liberated we feel with each other, and just like it just feels really good. So what's that thing there? Little web growing in the back of that there now. Look at that. Yes, we are weaving a new world in our life, and it's not easy, but it's rich, and I feel really excited. And that's why I'm running a lot of my events and my workshops, is to allow women that maybe don't feel like they have that, or they want more of it, or they want a different community, or they want a different clan. And I think maybe some people might see from the outside like, oh, you know, I don't want to go to Match's thing because it could be all like, you know, Match's friends or Match's clique. And I'm like, I don't really do that cliquey clan thing. There's, of course, there's going to be people that might be my friend, or people I know. That's of course going to happen. That happens in everyone's events. But, you know, it's a public event. It's for new people to come, new community, new growth, new coming together. My whole intention of my in-person events, because as you know, I used to do online stuff, is to bring people together to get to know each other. Not even me, not even like to hang out and spend time with me and, you know, let my community grow. It's like, you know, weaving the web of new creation. Yes. I think that's a good place to leave. So I am gonna leave you with the trees in the air, looking so beautiful. Much love to you all. Go well into your Christmas day, those that are celebrating. I'll be with my family. My son is in Australia, so I won't, for my first year in 20 years, I won't have a little boy at Christmas. So that's cute in a different way. and it just changes it. 20 years, like, it's a long time. And they don't really celebrate Christmas in Australia. Yeah, very exciting times. Much love to you all. May kisses. Anything come up for you, always let me know, and I'd love to hear from you. I love responses. You can comment, send me a message. Like, I genuinely say that. I wouldn't say it otherwise. Okay.